Today's video is something you truly need to hear because it has the power to change your entire financial life. If you have ever felt stuck, confused, or frustrated about money, then stay with me till the end. What you learn today might be the turning point you have been waiting for. Have you ever wondered why some people work hard every day but still feel stuck in the same place? Why some people chase money their whole life, yet money always runs away from them? Why some people earn enough to survive, but never enough to grow? Today, I want to tell you something that might shock you. You are not poor because of luck. You are not poor because of your family background. You are not poor because life is unfair. You are poor because of 5 invisible money mistakes that are quietly destroying your future. And the moment you understand these 5 mistakes, your life will change. Your mind will change. Your financial future will change. So listen carefully. Don't skip anything. Because if you miss even one idea, you might miss the chance to change everything. Money is not just paper. Money is not just numbers. Money is a mirror. It reflects how you think, how you act, how you plan, and how you choose. And if you don't learn the right habits, money will always slip out of your hands like water. Today, we will talk about the 5 money mistakes that are secretly making you poor. These mistakes are simple, but dangerous. These mistakes are common, but powerful. And millions of people around the world are losing their future because of them. But not you, not after today. Today, you will wake up. Today, you will see the truth. Today, you will take control of your financial life. Mistake 1. You spend money to look rich. The first money mistake is simple, but it destroys more people than anything else. Spending money to look rich instead of becoming rich. This mistake is so common that many people don't even realize they are doing it. Every day, people waste their hard-earned money just to impress others, even people they don't like, people they don't respect, or people who don't care about them at all. They buy the most expensive clothes, not because they truly need them, but because they want someone to say, "Wow, you look amazing." They buy the newest phone, not because their old phone stopped working, but because they want people to think they are modern, successful, or important. They buy fancy shoes, branded watches, designer bags, expensive perfumes, and unnecessary gadgets. Not because these things add value to their life, but because they want validation. They want approval. They want attention. But here is the truth. A painful truth that most people refuse to accept. The desire to look rich is the fastest and easiest way to stay poor. When you buy things just to impress others, you trade your future for temporary admiration. You lose long-term success for short-term feelings. You sacrifice your financial freedom for a few seconds of praise. You can't grow financially if you keep spending money on things that do not grow, do not produce income, and do not help you move forward. The people who are truly rich don't act rich. They don't show off. They don't spend money to gain attention. They don't buy fancy items to prove something to society. Instead, they buy freedom. They buy time. They buy investments. They buy assets that bring more money into their life. Meanwhile, poor people buy liabilities. Poor people buy things that lose value the moment they leave the store. Poor people buy things to feel good in the moment, even if it hurts them later. Just think about it for a moment. If someone needs to prove that they are rich, they are not rich. Truly wealthy people are quiet. They are simple. They don't need to show their success because their life already speaks for them. They let their discipline speak. They let their investments speak. They let their results speak. They don't flash money. They don't brag. They don't try to convince the world. Rich people understand that real wealth grows silently. But millions of people across the world are stuck in a dangerous trap. The trap of social media. Social media constantly tells them, show off your lifestyle. Post pictures of your new clothes, your new phone, your new shoes, your new items. And many people, especially young people, fall into this trap. They think showing a rich lifestyle is the same as having a rich lifestyle. But it is not. Fake success destroys real success. When you try too hard to look rich, you lose the opportunity to actually become rich. You spend money that should be saved. You buy things instead of investing. You focus on approval instead of growth. You must ask yourself a powerful question. A question that can transform your financial future. Do I want this because I need it, or because I want people to think something about me? This single question can save you years of financial struggle. This question can stop you from making emotional decisions. This question can protect you from debt, regret, and financial stress. When you ask this question honestly, you will realize that many things you buy do not matter. Many things you buy do not bring value. Many things you buy are just for show. Once you understand this truth, you become unstoppable. Because the moment you stop trying to look rich, you start becoming rich. You stop wasting money on things that don't matter. You start saving money. You start planning your financial life. You start investing in things that grow. You start focusing on your goals, your real goals, not society's expectations. You start choosing value over vanity. You start choosing growth over approval. You start choosing long-term success over short-term excitement. Remember this simple truth that will guide you for the rest of your life. Rich people stay rich because they act poor. Poor people stay poor because they act rich. If you want to grow in life, be simple. Be calm. Be focused. Live below your means. Build quietly. Work silently. Let your future speak louder than your clothes. Let your success speak louder than your shopping. You are not here to impress anyone. You are here to build your future. You are here to create opportunities. You are here to design a life that gives you freedom, peace, and power. And that begins when you stop spending money to look rich and start using money to become rich. Mistake 2. You save money, but you never invest. The second money mistake is something millions of hardworking people make every day without even realizing it. Saving money but never investing it. Many people believe that saving money is the ultimate path to wealth. They feel proud when they put a small amount of money in a bank account each month. They think, I am responsible. I am disciplined. I am planning for the future. And yes, saving is good. Saving shows self-control, patience, and discipline. It is an important habit, and you should never underestimate its value. Saving is the first step toward financial growth. But here is the truth that most people never learn. Saving alone will never make you rich. Saving is important, but it is not enough. If your money just sits in a bank account or under your mattress, it will not grow. In fact, over time, it will slowly lose value. Because here is a simple fact. Money that sleeps dies. Money that works grows. If you save money without investing it, inflation quietly eats your wealth. Inflation is the silent thief of financial security. Imagine your money like a block of ice. When you save it, it looks solid, it looks strong, it looks safe. But every year, a little piece melts away. Prices go up. Food costs more. Housing costs more. Education costs more. Even transportation costs more. If your money does not grow along with these rising costs, you are falling behind every year, slowly and silently. By the time you realize it, your savings are worth much less than you think. People who rely only on saving are constantly fighting against time and inflation, instead of letting money work for them. The good news is that you don't have to be a financial expert to start investing. You don't have to be rich to invest. You don't have to wait until you have a huge amount of money in your bank account. The key is to start with what you have. Start now, and start consistently. It does not matter how small your first investment is. What matters is that you begin. Because every journey starts with the first step. And every small investment, when done consistently, has the potential to grow into something very big over time. There are many simple ways to invest your money, even if you are a beginner. You can invest in a long-term index fund that grows slowly but steadily. You can invest in a business or side venture that brings extra income. You can invest in skills that increase your ability to earn more. You can invest in education that opens new doors. You can invest in tools or resources that make your work easier and more profitable. Most importantly, you can invest in yourself, your knowledge, your discipline, your mindset, and your abilities. Because the best investment you will ever make is the investment in yourself. Many people avoid investing because they think it is risky. They believe they might lose money, or they are afraid of making a mistake. But do you know what is truly risky? Depending entirely on one source of income and having no investments. That is the real risk. That is the reason most people remain poor, even if they work hard every day. Investing intelligently allows your money to work for you. When you invest, your money goes to the gym. It starts building financial muscles. It grows stronger every day, silently, even when you sleep, even when you rest. Your investment continues to grow while you focus on life, work, and your goals. That is the power of investing. If you want to break the cycle of poverty, the rule is simple. Invest early, invest consistently, and invest wisely. Do not try to get rich overnight. Do not chase quick profits. Avoid scams, risky schemes, or promises of instant wealth. Wealth is not something you receive suddenly. True wealth is something you build slowly, steadily, and quietly. Small, smart investments made consistently over time create financial power that cannot be taken away. Time is your greatest ally. The earlier you start investing, the faster your money grows. Compound growth is incredible. It multiplies your wealth quietly, without noise or effort, as long as you are patient and disciplined. The only person who can stop you is yourself. You can choose to stay in the cycle of saving without growth, or you can take the first step today, no matter how small, toward financial freedom. Saving is important, but investing is essential. Saving keeps you alive. Investing makes you alive financially. If you want to rise above poverty, to secure your future, to live with freedom and peace, investing is the key. When you combine saving with intelligent investing, your money stops being a static number and starts becoming a tool that works for you, grows with you, and ultimately creates the life you dream of. Mistake 3. You buy things you cannot afford. The third money mistake is one of the most common and most dangerous. Buying things you cannot afford. This is a trap that entangles millions of people. Even hard-working individuals who earn a decent salary, save a little, and believe they are responsible. How does this happen? It happens in a simple, quiet, and seemingly harmless way. Credit cards, personal loans, EMIs, and buy now, pay later schemes all create an illusion. An illusion that you have money. But the truth is, you don't. The bank has money, and it is lending that money to you at a cost. And that cost is not just financial, it is personal. It is your future. Every time you borrow money to buy something you don't truly need, you trade long-term freedom for short-term pleasure. You feel happy in the moment when you swipe your card to buy something shiny. You feel excited when you hold that new gadget, wear that new pair of shoes, or drive that new car. But after a few days or weeks, reality comes knocking. The bills arrive, the EMIs accumulate, the interest grows. Suddenly, the happiness you felt becomes stress, worry, and fear. The excitement turns into anxiety. The power you felt while spending disappears, replaced by the heavy weight of debt. Debt is a trap. It is quiet, soft, and comfortable at first, but it becomes unbearably heavy over time. It steals your peace. It steals your sleep. It steals your choices. Debt can quietly consume your life, limiting what you can do, who you can be, and how far you can go. And yet, millions of people fall into this trap every day. We live in a world where people buy things they don't need, with money they don't have, to impress people who don't care. Social pressure, advertising, and societal expectations constantly push us to keep up. Marketing companies use every trick to convince you that happiness comes from buying more, that success comes from showing off, and that approval comes from spending beyond your means. But this is false. This is a dangerous illusion. You don't need to spend money to feel valuable. You don't need to borrow to feel successful. You don't need to impress anyone to be important. The antidote to this trap is simple but powerful. You must learn to say no, to wait, and to buy only what you can truly afford. This is a discipline that requires courage, patience, and self-control. It is easy to fall into temptation. It is easy to give in to desire. But the strongest people are the ones who resist. The strongest people are the ones who prioritize their future over temporary pleasure. There is a rule that can guide you through life and protect you from financial mistakes. If you can't buy it twice, you cannot afford it. This rule is simple, but it works. If you cannot pay for something without borrowing, without creating debt, then it is not a wise purchase. Learning this rule will protect you. It will free you. It will give you confidence, power, and peace of mind. When you adopt this rule, your perspective on life changes. You begin to see the difference between wants and needs. You begin to understand that the most valuable things in life cannot be bought with money. They are time, freedom, knowledge, relationships, and opportunities. You start to understand that you don't need a bigger TV, a newer phone, or a fancier lifestyle. What you need is a bigger bank account, a growing investment, and a life where you make choices freely. You don't need to upgrade your lifestyle. You need to upgrade your mind. You need to upgrade your habits, your mindset, and your ability to make intelligent financial decisions. When you control your spending, you control your life. When you control your desires, You control your destiny. Every time you resist unnecessary purchases, you strengthen your financial freedom. Every time you save instead of spending recklessly, you increase your ability to invest in opportunities that truly matter. Every time you follow the principle of buying only what you can afford, you are building a life where money works for you, instead of you working endlessly for money that disappears the moment you spend it. This is the difference between people who remain poor and people who rise. People who spend beyond their means remain trapped, constantly chasing temporary pleasures and falling behind. People who spend wisely, live below their means, and focus on value and growth steadily build wealth, confidence, and freedom. Breaking free from this cycle is not easy, but it is possible. It requires honesty, discipline, and courage. It requires a commitment to your future self, rather than seeking approval from others. If you can master the art of controlling your spending, resisting unnecessary desires, and making purchases only when you can truly afford them, you will take a giant step toward financial independence. You will take control of your life. You will gain peace, confidence, and the freedom to make real choices. And that, my friend, is the power of financial discipline. The power to rise above debt. The power to live on your terms. And the power to build the life you deserve. Mistake 4. You have only one source of income. The fourth money mistake is one that most people make without even realizing it, depending on only one source of income. Many people think that having a single job, a single salary, or a single business is enough. They believe that if they work hard at one thing, they will be safe. But the truth is far more uncomfortable. Depending on only one income is extremely risky. Think about it for a moment. If you lose your job tomorrow, what happens? If your business slows down or faces a sudden problem, what happens? If your one source of income disappears, how long can you survive? Most people are living on the edge without even knowing it. They are one small problem away from financial disaster. And it is not because they are lazy or weak. It is because they have put all their eggs in one basket. They depend on only one source of money, and that is a dangerous place to be. Relying on a single income is like trying to walk with only one leg. You can balance for a while, but eventually something will break, and when it does, you will fall hard. The world is unpredictable. Jobs can disappear overnight. Businesses can fail. Markets can crash. Emergencies, illnesses, or accidents can destroy your financial stability in a blink. Depending on one income is simply not safe in today's world. This is why every wealthy person has multiple streams of income. Multiple streams are not about greed. They are about safety, freedom, and growth. Even the middle class now needs multiple streams just to survive comfortably. The world is changing rapidly, and if you do not adapt, you will struggle. You don't need 10 income streams to be financially secure. You just need more than one. Even 2 or 3 extra sources can make a massive difference in your life. You can start small. You can start today. You can start with simple side incomes that don't require huge investments or years of experience. You can freelance your skills online. You can teach online or create courses. You can sell a product or offer a service in your community or online. You can start content creation, writing blogs, making videos, or building a small YouTube channel. You can invest in something that grows slowly over time. You can turn a hobby into income. something you already love doing. You can learn skills that people will pay for. Every skill you learn is a seed. Every seed you plant creates a new stream of income. You don't need to make a fortune from each stream. Even small streams, when combined, give you stability, freedom, and power. Let me make this very simple for you. If you have one income, you survive. If you have two incomes, you become stable. If you have three incomes, you become strong. If you have four incomes, you become unstoppable. Multiple income streams are not just about earning more money. They are about freedom, security, and control over your life. They give you power over your choices. They give you peace of mind when life gets unpredictable. They allow you to take risks, explore opportunities, and grow without fear of falling. Money loves movement. Money loves creativity. Money loves skills. Money loves action. When you create more than one source of income, you are moving money, you are creating value, and you are building your financial muscle. Building multiple streams of income is not difficult if you are willing to learn and act. It is about thinking differently, working strategically, and taking consistent action. You must start with something small and simple. Then, gradually, you can expand. The key is to start today, rather than waiting for the perfect moment. Every skill you learn, every small project you take, and every small stream of income you start adds up over time. It compounds, just like money invested intelligently. The world rewards people who prepare, not people who hope. People who take action, not people who wait. People who build, not people who rely on luck. So don't wait. Don't rely on one path. Don't leave your life and future to chance. Start planting seeds of income today. Start developing skills that create value. Start small, but start consistent. Every stream you build is a step toward freedom, independence, and unstoppable financial power. When you create multiple streams of income, you are no longer one paycheck away from disaster. You are no longer trapped by fear or uncertainty. You are building a life where money works for you, not against you. You are creating stability, growth, and power that cannot be taken away. And that, my friend, is the true path to financial strength, freedom, and success. Mistake 5. You never educate yourself about money. The fifth and final money mistake is the foundation of almost all financial problems. Never educating yourself about money. This mistake is silent, invisible, and far more dangerous than overspending or relying on one income. Many people spend years of their life learning subjects like math, science, history, and language, and they become skilled in many areas. They graduate from school and college with diplomas, degrees, and certificates. Yet, most people never learn the most important skill of all: how money works. Schools teach you how to work for money. They teach you how to be employees, how to earn a salary, how to fill out forms, and how to follow instructions. But they do not teach you the rules of money, the habits of wealth, or the mindset required to grow financially. They do not teach you about assets, liabilities, investments, or financial planning. This lack of education is the reason millions of hardworking people struggle financially, even when they earn a good income. If you do not understand money, money will control you. Money will confuse you. Money will trap you. Money will punish every mistake, every impulse, and every careless decision. Without knowledge, a person can work their whole life, earn a decent income, and still remain financially weak. Every month, the paycheck comes and goes. Bills are paid, debts accumulate, savings disappear, opportunities are missed, financial stress grows. Life feels like a constant struggle. But the opposite is also true. If you understand money, you control it. You guide it. You direct it. You make money work for you instead of you working endlessly for it. Knowledge is the key to freedom. Knowledge is the key to growth. Knowledge is the key to financial security. Financial education is the ultimate tool to break the cycle of poverty. It is not luck, not talent, not family background, not connections, and not being in the right place at the right time. All these things are temporary and unreliable. True financial power comes from education. Real education. Education about money. Understanding how money works, how wealth is created, and how it grows over time is what separates those who are wealthy from those who struggle. Wealthy people continuously learn, study, and improve their financial skills. They read books about money, watch videos, listen to mentors, and follow proven principles. They learn how to invest, how to save, how to manage risk, how to grow assets, and how to minimize liabilities. They understand the difference between income that consumes and income that creates. They think strategically about money and plan for the long term. Poverty is not a lack of money. Poverty is a lack of knowledge. And knowledge can be gained. It is never too late to start learning. Money is not complicated. It is simple when you understand it. But it becomes a storm when you ignore it. A person who does not educate themselves financially is like a sailor in a stormy sea without a compass. Waves crash, winds push, the storm becomes stronger. Without direction, without understanding, without knowledge, it is impossible to survive. But a person who invests time in learning about money builds a compass. They learn to navigate challenges, avoid dangers, and find opportunities. They turn obstacles into growth. They turn chaos into stability. Education about money does not need to be overwhelming. You do not have to read hundreds of books in a year. You do not have to understand every financial term immediately. The key is consistency. Every month, learn something new about money. Learn something small but useful. Learn something practical. Read one chapter, watch one video, listen to one mentor. Apply what you learn. Every lesson adds power. Every lesson builds skill. Every lesson strengthens your ability to make smart decisions, grow your wealth, and protect your future. Over time, these small lessons accumulate into a massive advantage over those who remain ignorant. When you educate yourself about money, you grow. When you grow, you earn. When you earn, you improve your life. You improve the life of your family. You become the first person in your family to break the cycle of financial struggle. You become the first person to plan, save, invest, and grow. You become the first person to rise. Financial education allows you to make decisions with confidence. It allows you to avoid mistakes that keep most people poor. It allows you to take calculated risks that create opportunity. It allows you to see wealth not as a distant dream, but as a real, achievable outcome. The truth is, the difference between struggling financially and achieving freedom is not how much money you earn. It is what you know about money and how you use it. Money education changes everything. It changes habits, it changes mindset, and it changes results. The moment you take control of your financial knowledge, You take control of your life. You no longer feel powerless, confused, or dependent on luck. You gain confidence, clarity, and control. You see opportunities where others see obstacles. You make your money work for you instead of you working endlessly for money. So start today. Commit to learning something about money every month, every week, every day if possible. Read books. Watch educational videos. Listen to successful people. Study how investments work. Learn the difference between assets and liabilities. Learn how the rich think, plan, and grow. Every lesson adds strength. Every lesson adds freedom. Every lesson adds the power to break free from financial struggles and build a life of independence, growth, and security. Remember, education is the most powerful tool you will ever have. Money education is the key to a life where you are in control, where your money works for you, and where your future is built intentionally, wisely, and successfully. Final message: become the master of your money. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your current situation. You are not your income. You are not your struggles. The truth is, none of these define you. What defines you is the person who decides what happens next. And today, right now, you have made the most important decision of your life: to take control of your money. Money is not your enemy. Money is not evil. Money is not something to fear or blame. Money is a tool, a powerful tool that can build freedom, security, and opportunity. And the person who learns how to use this tool wisely will always rise, grow, and succeed. The 5 mistakes that silently keep people poor are not permanent. They can be changed. They can be fixed. They can be replaced with better habits, smarter decisions, and a new mindset. Your life can transform in a single year. Your financial future can shift in just 6 months. Your mind can evolve starting today. Remember these 5 mistakes. You spend money to look rich. You save money but never invest. You buy things you cannot afford. You depend on only one source of income, and you never educate yourself about money. Fix these 5 areas, and your financial life will begin to change. This is where English Achieve comes in. This channel is not just about learning English. It is about learning to think, grow, and act like a successful person. When you take these lessons to heart, apply them daily, and commit to growing financially, you stop surviving and start building. Stop wasting. Start investing. Stop pretending. Start growing. Stop hoping. Start learning. Stop waiting. Start today. Your future is ready for you. Your potential is bigger than you think. Your success is calling. And your time begins now. This is your wake-up call. This is English Achieve, and I believe in you.